In this video we're going to be making a memory wire bracelet like this. And with this, the good thing about this is you don't need a fastening with this, so if you've got somebody who struggles with fastening bracelets, this is brilliant because all you do is just pop it on like that, you just twiddle and that's it, it's on. It stays, and it's also flexible to wrist size, so if you're making it for someone you don't know the wrist size, this is a good one. And if someone has a condition where their wrists swell up, then they're not going to have any restriction with this because it just basically expands like that. Alright, so for this you will need memory wire. So this here, it's 6 centimeters in its width there, and it is 0.6 millimeters in thickness. This is steel center, so it's really firm. So when you're cutting it, you need some like DIY pliers. So don't use your best cutting pliers, just use some standard DIY pliers. I've got an idea of how many beads I'd need, so that's the pattern that I'm going for there. So you're first going to take just one side of your memory wire and you're going to take your round nose pliers, and we're going to create a loop. So you can either create your loop upwards or to the side like that. Doesn't really matter how you do it as long as it isn't pressing down towards the skin. So you see this one here, I've done it so it just goes around like that, but you can do it to the side as well, whichever way you prefer. So you're going to take your round nose pliers, you want to place them in, and wherever you place your wire on your pliers is a size loop that you're going to get. But I would say don't make your loop too small, just because it's harder to grip with the pliers around it right at the end there. You get more of a grip if you're slightly further down your pliers, because remember this is steel, so it's really firm. So you're going to grip, twist the hand that's holding the pliers up and over. So we've got that. Then keep curling, just keep going in and curling. You're going to curl it enough just so it meets back on itself. Just so it meets back on itself like that. So don't worry if you can't do it in one clean swoop, you just go curl, let go, pull those pliers back out, go back in and keep slowly. So you might do it in 2 or 3 goes. And then with your flat nose, you're just going to align it up so that it's all flush, similar to how you would do with a pair of earrings. So see, that's a loop. So the key thing is getting the wire to come back around and touch it back on itself, just to stop your beads from sliding off. That's all that this loop is doing. It doesn't have to look really neat, it just has to come back on itself so that beads can't slide off the end there. Then now we're just going to thread our beads on in the order that we want them to be on. So I'm doing it in that sequence there. So you're just going to thread all your beads on and then just leave about 1 centimetre at the end there to create another loop like this, and that's it. So away you go. Okay, so I am happy with that where that is now, where I have just enough left over to make the loop. So I could add on a few more seed beads, but then this loop would be smaller than this one. They don't have to be the exact same size, because it's just really for holding the beads on. But if you want it to look more uniform, then that's where you keep the length of wire that you use at the end similar, so about 1 centimetre. So now I'm just going to check to make sure that we haven't done sequencing wrong anywhere, because it's easy to get distracted and accidentally pick up the wrong bead. Nope, I'm happy with that. So now we're just going to make sure all the beads are pushed down as far as they can be, so that there's no gap that side there. Then we're going to take your round nose pliers again. So remember, if you have pliers that are like this with a flat nose, you can still do this pattern, but it wouldn't have a loop that's round like that. If you use these pliers, they'd have like that sort of shape, like a D shape, which round one side, flat the other side. So it still work, but you just wouldn't have that smooth finish. So if you do have flat nose pliers, you can still work with memory wire. I just think the round nose pliers look neater. You're going to take your wire, place it in a similar position on your pliers, then you're going to curl, release your pliers, turn back away from yourself, and then go back in, and then keep curling. So just keep doing that. So I've done that in 2 loops, but you might need to do 3 goes at it if it's a bit tough for you. Just do it so your wire's just touching back on itself, and that little gap's closed up. And then again, you can use your flat nose pliers if it's not angled how you want it to be. I'm going to curl mine a little bit more. There we go, and that is your bracelet complete. If you are wanting to recreate this exact piece here, feel free to go over to our website, because I'll be making this kit combination available through our website and in our shop. So you can either come into the shop, pick the kit up, or get it online in our online shop. So there'll be other combinations, but this particular combination will be available in a kit on the website. Thanks.